Here's my predictions. I think these are going to be a sleeper, but of course I'll let you guys be the judge. Alright, take a look at the box. Something that we saw relatively recently with a pair of Jordan 3s, I believe it was the camo pair. This isn't your usual Jordan 5 box. You've got a bunch of older pictures showing you, I guess, the heritage of a bunch of different Jordan sneakers. You got some 2s over there, you got Michael Jordan dunking, you got the comic book. Once you pop the top, you get into today's pair of sneakers, guys, and that is the Jordan 5 Jade Horizon. This box is actually extremely well made. It's actually like got some weight to it just on its own. Today's video is sponsored by Squarespace. If you want to make a website for your business, brand, or anything else, Squarespace has all the tools you need. Even if you have no experience, Squarespace makes it super easy to make great looking professional websites. I'm currently in the process of building my own website, and I'm loving how simple it is while still giving you all the tools to be as creative as you can. Another cool thing, if you're a creator, you can monetize your content and your expertise with the members area, which you can sell access to gated content like videos, online courses, or newsletters. All websites are optimized for mobile, which is super cool and convenient. All of the content automatically adjusts and looks great. Head to squarespace.com for a free trial, and when you're ready to launch, head to squarespace.com/Elliot page to save 10% off the first purchase of a website or a domain. Thank you so much, Squarespace, for sponsoring today's video, but let's get back to it. Now, these haven't fully released yet. I mean, they dropped here in the UK, but we're still waiting on a US release, which is coming pretty soon. Here in the UK, these didn't necessarily fly off shelves. This is not a huge sneaker for a lot of people, but man, let me tell you, these things are clean. So the release date here in the UK was March the 25th, and again, like I said, they didn't necessarily fly. I think there was 1 or 2 sizes which actually are still available right now, and the release date out in the US is scheduled for April the 9th, and I feel like it's going to be a completely different story out in the US. I feel like these are definitely going to sell out and go pretty quick out in the US. And I believe these were actually originally supposed to drop back in November last year, but just got delayed like a lot of sneakers nowadays, and that's why a lot of the release schedules are just so jam-packed this year, because a lot of them were supposed to drop last year. I feel like we've been getting a decent amount of really solid colorways of the Jordan 5 model, and I feel like these definitely add to that list. The orange blaze pair was actually a similar story to this in terms of like it's not the most hype, it's not an original colorway, but they did a really good job on that pair. And as you know, a lot of people just really prefer like OG colorways that are retroed instead of brand new colorways with a new concept. Even though this is a new sneaker intended to look like an old sneaker. The kind of vibe I'm getting from this pair of sneakers is similar to the Jordan 3 camos that dropped relatively recently. That one kind of went under a lot of people's radars, but when they actually got it in hand and saw how good of a job Nike did on that pair of sneakers, they kind of changed their mind. Either way, I feel like this sneaker kind of fits in perfectly with what's kind of trending right now with the whole vintage style of sneakers, and Nike has seen that and they've decided to capitalize on that, not just dropping this colorway of the Jordan 5, but also producing a bunch of different Nike dunks with that vintage inspiration. And obviously later down the line this year, we're supposed to be getting the Jordan 1 Chicago Reimagined, which is slated to have some kind of vintage take on that silhouette. And I think for a vintage style or inspired colorway, this is really well put together and really well thought out. The base color on this is jade green, but it's not kind of the jade green that if you Google it, what comes up. This is a much more paler, more toned down version. I think using this toned down version blends in with the whole theme a lot more. In fact, it kind of reminds me of the patina effect, and the material they use on the upper is very solid. Like, it's actually a really thick leather that seems like it's going to stand up to a lot of wear and tear. It's a very durable material. It's not necessarily the softest leather, but I don't mind that. It feels really good quality. And if you look closely at this leather material, you can almost see it slightly cracking in some areas, which I think is really interesting. And over time, when you wear this pair down, it's only gonna look more and more of that vintage style that you like. It's gonna have some cracks, especially around the ankle area, and I guess around the toe box as well. But I just think it's a really interesting feature to have. The more you wear it, the more of that rugged vintage style you're going to get. And then of course all of the aged accent features like the plastic lace toggle, the eye stays, and of course that rubber mesh material that you get on the medial and lateral sides. Comes in a very natural looking yellowish tone, which really does give it that solid aged effect. You do get some more of that aged effect over on the outsole as well, which I think looks really, really good. Now the midsole is a really interesting color. It's not black, but it's like an off black, which again I think ties into the overall theme and colorway of this sneaker perfectly. Tongue on this sneaker comes in a bright pale blue, which is something I'm not the biggest fan of, but at the end of the day, it's not really a big deal to me. I just kind of wish that they used a more duller, maybe even darker color for that tongue. And I think these are gonna go hard on foot. You can match a bunch of outfits and make them look really, really solid. I definitely like sleeper sneakers, you know, the ones that kind of are GR releases that go under the radar. Nowadays with social media, it almost feels like those super ultra rare sneakers like the Travis Scotts or the super hyped collaborations are almost more popular because we see so many more people wearing them on Instagram and stuff like that. So sometimes having a pair of GR sneakers almost feels a little bit more special. It feels a little bit more rare because you don't often see people wearing them. Either way, I think this is a solid pair of fives. The quality is really good. The colorway is really good. And if this is what you were looking for, I think you'll be pretty happy if you decide to pick these up. Now, as for sizing, I personally go true to size with Jordan 5s, and that's what I'm going to recommend to you guys. If you've never tried a pair on, again, I recommend true to size. I'd love to know what you guys think of this colorway and of Nike and Jordan Brand taking this vintage aged theme and placing it on a bunch of different sneakers. Let me know down in the comment section, but that pretty much wraps it up. Thank you so much for coming through, hanging out for yet again another one. Thank you for liking, commenting, and of course subscribing. I'll catch you guys in the next one, but until then.